that 30 seconds gave me like 8 years of PTSD. And I wanted women to feel safe, like when my clients come in, I can feel them buzzing. So I think people are struggling a lot and they just have a hard time talking about it. And that's why I think that when my clients are there, I'm actually trying to give them positive energy, but they don't know that. I'm actually trying to heal their body.
Okay guys, today's guest built a real brand off of slowing people down, helping people heal, and building real connection. This conversation is going to go way deeper than this can, no pun intended. Today's guest is a special guest because this has been years in the making, and every time we were about to do it, something ended up happening that ended up pushing it back and back. I'm back, but as I always say, everything is in God's timing, and this is the perfect timing. Mm-hmm. Today's guest, we have Jessica.
Hello.
Happy to have you on.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
I know.
Coming.
I know we were trying to plan it for a little while, but we both were pretty busy, so we made it work. Yes,
and honestly, I know that there's so much things that we could dive into because normally before we start episodes, I spend some time talking to different guests, trying to feel them out, trying to figure out not only what's the best direction to take, but just to break the ice a little bit so that when we start the conversation, it's not like fully awkward.
Yeah.
So we did talk a little bit and we spoke about a lot of things. And what I really want to get into is, at what point did you realize that what people were carrying ran way deeper than the skin?
I think the last few years is when I really figured that out. Because everything that I pulled from my past, I brought it into the future, basically. So I was raised in a good family, and but I went through an abusive relationship. So there was PTSD attached to that. So I also worked in a corporate setting and women weren't very nice to each other. So when I started my business, I started it thinking that's what I wanted to do is be kind to women, make them feel safe, because I just felt like women weren't nice to me. And I felt like I went through an abusive relationship. I wanted a safe place for them to come. Right. And that was the initial goal. Right. But then the last few years since I'd done skincare, I realized how much that emotional piece really affects the skin. So when people are stressed, their cortisol levels, they'll get acne right in here. A lot of times hormonal, they'll get it here. If they're eating dairy, they'll get acne here. So your skin's telling them okay, there's something going on in one of your organ systems or your body system, right? And a lot of times we have such a inflammatory society. So a lot of times people don't realize that's what it is. And so if you start looking at, okay, what stressors they have going on, hormonal stuff. Did they just have a breakup? Did they, what are they eating? What's their diet like? What's their toxin removal? We have a lymphatic system too. And a lot of times it doesn't have its own pump. So, we have to learn how to get the lymphatics out. So yeah, there's, I started realizing how much stress messed with people, and cortisol, which is your stress hormone, that off balances all your other hormones. And then if your liver's off, it processes excess hormones. And if you're not supporting that, then you got a big cascade, and all of us are stressed. When my clients come in, I can feel them buzzing, it's that aura of a buzz, and you can see their eyes kind of fluttering. And, what I try to do is put on Tibetan monk music and just relax them. And, I think to myself, okay, I have 40 minutes to a half an hour and a half to give them the kind of experience that whatever I think they need. If I think they need to laugh, if I think they need some calming music, if I think they need a hug, I've had cries with my clients where I'm hugging them. I even massage someone's back as their back was seizing up. It's human connection, right? So I just think if I can just provide them that calmness, and I ask them if they can put their phone away. So if I can provide them with that calmness, it'll ease their soul. So there's so many parts to it.
So was this like something that you experienced personally at first, like with the breakouts and stuff that made you want to do it?
Okay, actually, that's a really good question, because when I got COVID, and then after I got COVID, I lost like a quarter of my hair, and it came back, but it never really came back good. Like, it used to be so thick, then it was really thin, and then I would get I would get hives on my hands. And it took me 4 years, and I found a guy in Kansas, and he was a Chinese medicine doctor, and he told me I have long COVID histamine intolerance. So what would also happen is I would try to like blow dry my hair, and I could hardly hold my hand up, or I'd try to go run and it felt like my ankle was sprained. Like, it was almost like my mitochondria and everything was like messed up, right? So I went on this journey to like get rid of the histamines, try to figure out what's going on, and I'll be good for a while. And then I'll have these flare-ups. Like right now I'm in a flare-up, like my whole legs were like swollen. And it's because I just recently had a breakup. So I was eating sugar and I was doing all these bad things, right? So if I do all the right things for my body, like eat healthy and, don't eat foods that have a lot of histamines in them, and I work out, not too heavy, then I'm fine. But if I'm in a flare, if I try to do just one arm workout, I'm sore for like a week. So I know I have all the knowledge to help everybody with all of these things, because I study like holistic nutrition and a whole bunch of stuff. But then here I am sometimes struggling because life gets stressful, and I'm, having Starbucks or, eating bad inflammatory foods. So it's funny, like I can tell right away when my body's not okay. So that's how I can like figure things out for people, because I went on like a 4-year journey. So I would Google, I would study. I also took like some courses. And so I thought, if we can heal the inflammation inside the body for the skin, it's also helping with autoimmune diseases, and because that's the cause of inflammation, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, it really comes from me. And like one of my clients, she had these like purple spots on her arms, and I'm like, "Were you on prednisone, Nancy?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I said, "Did they give you anything for your liver?" And they're like, "No." And I'm like, "Oh my God, I think you better check those." I don't know I can't say what they are, but I think their liver spots, turns out they were. So like, just looking at the body, figuring out like what I see, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And I can't do everything.
Yeah.
So I have functional practitioners. I have one in Toronto area and the other one's here, and they do like autonomic response testing, and they have some pretty neat things. Like they have a PEMF room that helps with canceling out EMF and helps reset your body. So stuff I can't do, I send them to other people. And it took me a long time.
Yeah. So doing all these things, right? Do you think that your feel is a feel that is overlooked by men when it shouldn't be? Because I feel like you talking to me, and I feel like most men, like when we have certain things happening, we just allow them to pass and hope that they pass, and we carry a lot of the times when we don't have to.
Yeah.
So do you think it is something, or do you see a lot of men?
So because I'm like in my house, I'm just women owned, but I know that men, like, they could just really benefit from like the inflammatory stuff and the knowledge. I mean, everybody could, I think, but yeah, like it's definitely lacking with men.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it's a good, like you say that it's in your house, so you have women only. And my wife used to do massage, and that's why she stopped, because I know men are weird. Like men are weird sometimes, so it is a weird place to be. Well,
like, if the thing is I was like in a crew of guys my whole life. I was like a tomboy, right? So I don't mind being around guys, but just because it's in my home and it's just like very intimate.
Yeah.
It's like if I was in like a retail store with another person, like
it's different.
It would be different. You know what I mean? Like, but I do take men that are like my friend or my clients, like husbands,
like if you're close to them.
Oh yeah, like, and so I do take men in that way. And I have one of my clients, he's a referral from another friend.
Right.
He's very much like us. He's really cool. You would like him too. So like I do take care of his skin, and he's actually starting a brand, and he's wanted to be more, because he's going to be more on camera. Yeah. So he wanted to get his skincare going. So we worked out a plan for him. Yeah. So yeah, and because he said he felt like he was lacking. I'm so glad you asked me that question because I was trying to think about that, and yeah, that's exactly what he was going through. So
yeah. I just started taking care of my skin too. Like this year, I started doing skincare. I never really did skincare before, but and I know you could probably see it and be like, oh, you could use some help. But yeah. So that's what. So what did you do? What did you do before?
Oh yeah. So I went to Fanshawe too. And I took executive administration, so like it's like office management and stuff. And I worked in corporate settings or like office settings for like 15 years. The first job I started at was at a kitchen design company. And
kitchen design.
And then because my dad's a contractor, because they were so busy, I would end up like, helping all the designers price out the kitchens. And I even ordered some kitchens, and you have to figure out how many what kick plates they need and side panels and stuff like that. What are they called? Gables and all that stuff. So like I started out as an admin, and then I did that. And then my dad had like 45 tenants with his rentals. So I've done that. I've done like sales stuff. But then the last place I was at was a big corporation for like 3 years, and I was an admin for like 600 engineers. But I was so burnt out, and I ended up getting in a car accident, which actually it sounds really weird, but it was like a blessing because I was just working so much.
You need to slow down.
Oh my God. Yeah. Cause I had the PTSD from the abusive ex. And then I was working at that job, and I was trying to run charity things, like do trail running groups, try to start a Tough Mudder group, and was doing everything I could to try to like get through that PTSD. And I didn't see a counselor, which I should have. So I got in a car accident, and I couldn't drive for a year, and like I couldn't work out or anything. So it just really made me go like,
slow down.
Yeah.
So
made me think differently.
So I feel like since our conversation started, I think you mentioned PTSD with your ex 2 times since then, right? So how was that? Do you want?
Yeah, I'm over it now, which is good, but it took like 8 years.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be you okay with me being so honest, but I'll be polite. I've never said this on camera because I'm not embarrassed about it, but I think I just maybe hadn't healed enough. But I walked in on my ex with another girl and changed my whole life. I believed in honesty, and I believed in not cheating. And I was raised in a family where a handshake means something, where when we tell you we're going to do something, we look you in the eye, we do it. That's just the way it was, right? But when you meet somebody was raised totally different than you and had a lot of trauma and stuff, they're just cut from a different cloth. And the scene that ensued, it was like a 30-second scene. And that 30 seconds gave me like 8 years of PTSD. And I fueled my business with that. And I wanted women to feel safe, if they were sad, I could hug them. Yeah. And I think I haven't talked about it because I was emotionally attached to it for a while. But the person, this is so powerful, that I walked in on them with, I found out about who that person was a few years ago. And that person reached out to me, and they said, I'm so sorry you went through that. And they had to sell their house, and they changed their license plate on their car. And like, she apologized to me for the scene, even though it wasn't the best scene many years ago. And she had become a Christian, and she said, you're such a sweet person. Like, I didn't know that he was with you. It was the apartment we owned, but we hadn't been together for a while. But he kept saying, I want you back. I want you back. And finally, the day I accepted it was the day I said to my mom, because my friends always tell me, oh, you think too much. You think too much. I used to always say that. But every time I would say something, I was always right. So I said, Mom, something's not right. Something's not right. So I went to the apartment, and that's when it happened. And so like this girl apologized to me, and I said, oh, I'm so sorry. Like it was such a women empowerment moment. And I was like, I'm so sorry you went through that. And like, I was like, any support you need, I got you. You know what I mean? So she's been dealing with him still. They stayed together for 8 years after that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and the patterns just keeps going with this person. And
of course, it never really. So is she still with him right now? No, she's
no.
okay.
Yeah, she's doing her own thing, and so yeah. And she said I was so brave for talking about it, and you know what? Like, it's not that I was ever afraid, but when you're in an altercation with someone and you care about the person, and you're not a violent person, if you put a log on the fire, like if you decide to fight with that person, because like the reason I left him is because he was abusive. Then they get more fueled, and you have an anger cutoff and they don't.
Definitely.
So I put him in a headlock one day, and he was pretty mad. So it's fun. Like I can joke about it now, right? But I left because of that, and so it happened only a few times, and it was enough for me. I didn't want to be part of that.
So you caught him cheating once, but he was abusive
before that. That's why I moved out. So I owned a rental property, and I couldn't move in there, so I had to move in with my mom. So can you imagine? And then I get in a car accident because of all the stress, right? So I ended up being at my mom's house and not being able to go into my rental property, and then I had to deal with all of that. Couldn't drive for a year. And here I'm this normal person. I've never done anything wrong. Never been in trouble in my life. Like I always kind to people. And then I'm like in this situation and it's like, how did this happen? Do you know what I mean? And so I can choose to always be or be jaded. And like, there was a while I was jaded with men, but like I was with someone and he like totally healed all that. So, I know men are so good, and my dad is a beautiful human being, and my brother, they're moral men. So now that I had that, I'm glad I did, because I don't have rose-colored glasses on anymore. Yeah. And so because but after that, I started dating people that needed my help.
Fixer-uppers.
Yeah, like right after that, because but I didn't realize it was me I was trying to heal through them.
Yeah.
So I was just dating, I'll be honest, a bunch of clowns. But then after that, I was like, you don't need to do this. Like, you got your house, your business. You don't what's going on? Everybody you would never have a friend in your life that would buy a stolen TV. Like, everybody is very high moral compass, right?
Yeah. So
why would you have these guys around that you wouldn't even be friends with? And then at some point I just got so strong with it. And then I just met the right guys. And I think because I also related to them, because if they had trauma and I did, maybe it was maybe I feel like I'm on the same level, but I never realized that.
Or maybe it just felt like my whole life had to be wrong if this still happened to me. There's so much things that could happen. And I always tell men, especially men who come to the barbershop, that being a man is something that you have to try to do every single day, because what we think a man's supposed to be is not what a man actually is, and what we think a man's supposed to be is, we kind of flip what men are in terms of making the easy choices, like men nowadays, we made the easy choices. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh yeah, we could cheat. That's the easy choice. Oh yeah, we could have her do these things as the easy choice. But what a man's supposed to be is we're supposed to make the choice that was not easy. So it shouldn't be the hard choice. But if it's easy, she should ask herself twice. Why is every shortcut the most dangerous route? Because if it wasn't the most dangerous route, it would just be the route.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a shortcut.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's the most dangerous route because it's not a route you should be taking at your own risk.
Yeah.
And for being a man is that kind of thing, is that you had to choose the decision that is not easy, but you don't want to choose the hard decision at the same time.
Yeah, I know.
But the decision that isn't that easy because of how it could impact everybody else,
Yeah.
And so I think that's the flip side with a lot of men these days, is that they choose the easy decision, the selfish decision.
Yeah.
Whereas being a man is something you had to, like your dad was good because every day he had to decide to be good, and
he's shown up for me every day of my whole life. Yeah.
And he would have hard choices, and he had to make the choices make sense.
Yeah.
Am I good? last week we were having a conversation with another guy who's a dad, and we were saying it's like the easiest thing you could do as a man is leave your family. It's so easy.
Yeah.
It's so easy as a man to be like, I don't want nothing to do with this, and come back in 3 years and your kids forgive you, maybe. You know, if it's the first 3 years, but it's so easy as a man to make these decisions. But our jobs are to make the decisions to not do these easy things.
Mm-hmm.
So
it builds character.
Yeah. So I would never understand what it feels like to be in an abusive relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish that no one had to go through it. So I am sorry that you had to go through something like that. But it is a good thing that you did in a way, because it made you who you are today. So it's like, I'm not really sorry that you had to go through it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry at the time, but it's a weird place, you know?
It made me more resilient.
Exactly, you know?
Being a business owner too, I always had the worker bee mentality, but now, you know, as you know, being a business owner, the sky's the limit. Like, so much innovation can happen.
Yeah.
But when you were talking about like taking the easy way, I always say that to people. I say there was the, you know, Springbank Park path, or there was like, you know, all the weeds and the trees and everything. And if the right path is the path with all the sticks and leaves, and I'm going to get cuts at the end of it, I'm taking that path. Yeah. Because I could take the easy path where it's all paved and people are rollerblading down there and everything's fine. But if it's the bad path, I'm not doing it. And I think that like cheating is like a cheap human trait, and people are, you know, they're feeling like some kind of lack. But here's the thing. It's one thing, say you break up with somebody, like it's going to hurt no matter what, if that person doesn't want you to break up with them. But then now what you're going to do is add an added layer of trauma onto them. So now they have to deal with that. And then the next person's getting their trauma. And that's what you see on dating sites. Yeah. It's like that person could have started out like this sweet, nice person, and now any little thing triggers them. So why would you do that to somebody? Like, you're now affecting their whole life and the partner's ahead of them. So if you don't want to be with someone, tell them, you know. And I think like the society's afraid to tell people how they feel. Like I always tell my clients, if you're not happy with something, I want you to tell me. Like, we have an open communication. I'm here to do as much boutique style stuff as I can for you, but I'll follow up with them every day, the next day, every day. Doesn't matter what appointment it is. Yeah. Because I think that the transparency is a problem. People are afraid to hurt people's feelings, but then they'll gossip. And, and it's a very twisted, So I would rather, no, I don't say rude things to people, but I always tell the truth. And it's not the popular opinion all the time. You know, it's never the popular opinion, but it's something you have to do, right? Yeah. You have to, just like you said about men, that was so powerful what you said about men and how easy things are. It'd be easy for us to lie or not tell the truth, because then we're out of the hot water and not in the spotlight. Yeah. But like I would always, in my friend group, was always in the spotlight, because, you know, they would sit in a group when I was younger. I'm not friends with a lot of these people now, and they would tease each other, but they would one-up each other. And if the other person got offended, they would say, but I was just joking. And I call that a joking mask. So someone could say something very insulting to you, but with a joking tone, and now all of a sudden it's your problem for getting offended. Yeah. Meanwhile, they could have just called you like whatever, like something totally rude. Definitely. Or insulted your character. It's like, yeah. So I think like it's definitely not the easy route to just be straight up and honest these days, it seems like. But I don't know. I always have to do it like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, no, definitely. And I agree. It is true about the jokes. This is why, I mean, like, I make a lot of jokes all the time. I'm always laughing at doing these things. But my mom always taught me, and this is no offense to nobody, my mom always taught me, never joke about, like, friends. If somebody is bigger, you don't make big jokes with them. No. You know, if you know someone has an insecurity, you know, like if I know that you're insecure about your red hair, and I see something about your red hair, no, it's me directly trying to attack you. You know, it's not. And you're gonna see red fire come from the top of my head. Exactly right. Exactly right. So and so that's why you have to really be careful when it comes to that kind of thing, because trauma. I had one of my cousins actually. Yeah. Who I was talking to her
2-3 months ago on the phone, and she started crying because it's my cousin. We grew up together. Yeah. She was like my sister, so we'd always make jokes with her. Mm-hmm. We always, like, guys from some of our friends who like her, we'd be like, oh yeah, I don't know why he interested in you because you're not pretty. Oh yeah, like that kind of joke. We were young, you know, and I had to tell her, I'm like, bro, my whole life I was jealous of you. My whole life I felt like you were smarter than me. You had better handwriting than me. Oh. You had all these things going for you. So I thought that my jokes wouldn't affect you. Oh. But so now she's my age, and the jokes that we used to make affects her. Like her choices in men, it affects her. And I had to tell her, I'm like, bro, I was always jealous. I always felt like you were better at sports. Yeah. Everybody liked you. So I thought my jokes wouldn't affect you. Oh yeah. You know, like that, because like they were joke.
You felt like it would just bounce off of her.
Yeah, because she was so strong as a kid. She was my age, but she was always like more mature. Like she could take anything. Oh yeah. Like her and I, we would fight. We would like we was brothers and sisters, right?
Oh yeah. I used to brawl my brother all the time. We would wrestle all the time. Yeah,
exactly, right?
My cousin and me and my brother, the two of them would be on me
fighting.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
Oh yeah, wrestling, dude.
But now I see where like everything. And then I told her, I'm like, it's hard because you feel like everyone left you. I left, came to Canada. Oh. All my brothers left, we came to Canada. Your dad left, your grandmother left. She started crying, and I'm like, but I if I knew how it would affect you, I would never. But I wanted to know that you're way better than I am. Oh, you know, so it's things like that, like these things that we do that create trauma for people that don't deserve it,
and you didn't even realize.
And you didn't even realize. No. But is a lot of the times the people that carry these weight are some of the best people in society, you know, and they carry because because they can't believe someone will do that to them.
I have you as well have probably a strong sense of justice. I don't get mad often, but if someone's bullying somebody or if someone's lying or doing something wrong, that really bothers me. Yeah. I have a hard time not.
I mean, I was always friends when I was younger. I was always friends with the nerds. I always prefer to hang out with the outcasts. Me too. When I was in outcast. Same. When I was in cooking school, our final project. So imagine going to school for 2 years. Yeah. Your final project. The chef is like, choose your strongest team. Everyone is like asking me, Yvonne, be on my team. And I'm like, you know what? I'll wait. I want to wait to see everyone who didn't get chosen. Oh. And everyone who didn't get chosen, I built a team with them.
And did you guys?
Yeah, we did really, really good. We did really, really well. Yeah. It was me, some people from India, some people from Korea who can understand each other properly, you know. But I was like, you know what? I know how it feels to be to feel unseen. I know how that feels, and it's one of the worst feelings ever. My first job in Canada, I applied as a cook because I had a background in cooking. I had a certificate, a degree before I came to Canada in cooking. I applied as a cook in Fanshawe, the restaurant in Fanshawe. I forget what it's called. Off the Shack or something Shack, right?
That.
Yeah, something Shack.
I don't remember either.
So. Yeah. Like I applied. We were
just talking about this yesterday. What that restaurant was called? What are the irony of that?
Yeah,
that I've never talked about that for years.
Something Shack it is. But I applied for a job there as a cook, and I got a job as a
Outback Shack,
and I got a job as a dishwasher. And then I realized that all these other people who was working as cooks had no qualifications. So I asked the chef, "How come I get a job as a dishwasher when I have these qualifications and these guys got..." He's like, "Oh yeah, because you're from the Caribbean and people from the Caribbean are slow. You know, island time." I was a young black immigrant. I just laugh it off. I'm like, "Oh yeah, you're right. Haha." This is what immigrants, this is what the things that immigrants go through a lot of the times. And I didn't even realize until after. I'm like, yo.
That's pigeonholing you into one.
Exactly. You know, I'm like, how did stereotype. The only two Caribbean people was me and a Jamaican guy, and we both was dishwashers. We both had backgrounds in cooking. That's what made me ask him.
because sometimes when someone says something like that, you don't realize it till after. You're like, wait a second.
Yeah.
That was a stereotype.
Yeah, definitely. So, is that kind of...
I went through so many things like that.
Yeah.
You know, like I was like always picked last in baseball teams when I was younger. I was always the nerdy one. I was the one that guys never liked. When I went to the bars when I was younger, I was the last picked. It was always like that. And people always say to me, I can't believe that now. Or my clients say, oh, you know, you're skinny or whatever it is. And I'm like, yeah, but so I see myself like that nerdy girl.
Yeah, still.
Like I still operate like that. I still operate like I'm like that person that was picked on. Like I was spit on and pushed into lockers. Like it was bad.
In college?
In high school.
High school, sorry.
Yeah. You know, and you had to learn how to fight, right? And like I don't like fighting, but you have to learn. Right. And so like there was some scenarios that happened. It's like.
And you had brothers.
Yeah. Well, because like I was always a tomboy. I always knew how to wrestle, and I was always good with that. But like when I was in high school, like I don't want to get in fights with anyone. But if you got 3 or 4 girls following you down the hallway, you know, or following you home, or like setting you up, like I would make a new friend with someone. I go to their house and the bully would be in the bedroom. Yeah. But you couldn't tell your parents because they would tell you you're a rat if you tell your parents. And then, so you'd stay in this bullied-like state where you would be trying to deal with this all the time by yourself. And then you come home and, you know, I wouldn't tell my mom. And then finally I did. Finally I told my dad. Once my bully left, new bullies emerged. And then I was like, well, if I let this new bully me, like it's going to continue. So I just... wiped everybody clean.
You know, it's the crazy thing as you say this before I move on to the other thing.
Yeah.
One of my favorite movies, was It, and I hate horror.
I can't. Oh yeah,
I hate horror movies. I hate it, but the reason I love it so much is because of this. Is like what it actually is, and what I think Stephen King was showing you is like if you don't stand up to your fears, like so for Ed the clown. The only way you could beat him is to stand up to him.
Oh.
So he is this fear that lives in your mind that if you allow it, it will kill you.
What it is? Okay.
Yeah. So if you allow it, it will kill you. So this is my interpretation of it because I watched it as somebody who
Yeah.
If you allow it, it could kill you. But if you stand up to it and you deal with it, you could beat it. So there was this guy, one of the kids, you know, the fat kid from It.
I never watched it because I just saw that picture of the clown and I was like, I ain't going there.
You should maybe watch it just to see.
I watched Chucky and that used to scare me.
Yeah, me too. But for It, there was a fat kid in part 1. Then in part 2, he was big and strong.
Oh.
And then the clown looked at him and said, oh, you get big and strong for them, but inside you're still this fat kid. And he started teasing him, fatty boy. He started shrinking. Because even though you put on all these different things, inside, you still a scared little person. But until you face that fear and accept who you are. Like I had a kid one time come into the shop. He had to stay home from school. He's crying. And I'm like, why are you crying? He said, oh, people bully me in school. They call me fat. I was like, okay, are you fat? He's like, yeah. I was like, okay, so if you think you're fat, why allow somebody to get into your head like that? And it might sound harsh, but this is what my mom had to do with me.
Yeah.
To make me realize it's like, okay, if you could change something or you could accept something. But once people see that you're emotional about something, that's where bullies will really pick on you for.
They'll come in.
Yeah, exactly, because they could smell it. They smell your weakness.
The way to do it is not let them get one footstep in the door.
Exactly.
That's
So if you just accept and say, okay, I'm fat, so what? That's the end of the bullying.
Yeah.
There's no more bullying. I was short and I had a gap and this teeth was cracked. Yeah. That's how I had to fill out this teeth, right? I was short and that's how I was. My mom was like, okay, you gonna cry or you gonna accept it?
That's good advice.
And I was like, you know what? I accepted. That was the end of the bullying. That's when this is why I'm so quick with my responses, you know? I'm so quick. So because of that, my tongue was my only defense. I was too small. Yeah. So
well, you're quick with your linguistics. Well, remember 8 Mile? That's kind of a weird example.
Exactly.
But he was like, I am from a trailer park.
Exactly.
What are you going to do? Like,
but before when I was making jokes about him, he was shrinking.
Right.
And he's like, I'm going to accept this. He's like, he did smash my girl. But he talk about all these things. Take their power. Yeah. Like, that's a perfect example.
Well, yeah, because here's the thing.
I think I'm gonna clip that to this reel.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you own your stuff, it's like, I am this way. Like if people used to call me like emotional or they would say you think too much. Oh, this is the worst thing that I hate that guys say. They think too much. I said, no, you're not thinking enough.
Yeah.
You just flip it around them. I'm like, you don't care enough. So that's okay if you're not as caring as me, that's fine. But you don't tell me when I'm just talking regularly and I'm looking into a situation that should be looked into. If I'm questioning you on something, which I need answered, if you're a man, you'd be like, or a woman, man or a woman, you'd be like, you would answer it easily.
Yeah.
Not try to
hide it.
Yeah.
And flip it back on you.
Yeah, flip it back on me like, oh, you're too sensitive, you're too emotional, or I think you're thinking too much. But it's funny. When I was in the dating scene, I would flip it back on people. And then sometimes people would get insulted and some people would be like, what do you mean by that? Do you know what I mean? I thought that was pretty interesting. Just like, they didn't even maybe they just hadn't had somebody say to them, hey, like say it in that way. Yeah. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm like, no, you're just not thinking enough. Someone said I was too sensitive. I'm like, well, you're not sensitive enough. You're kind of a jerk.
Yeah.
So don't tell me I'm too sensitive because I'm just having a regular conversation. So that's why when you surround ourselves with people that are just like, we're deep conversationalists, we're caring, we have a good moral compass. You don't ever feel the sting of that or of a bullying because everybody's just like-minded, right? So like all my friends and probably all your friends are just good, nice, wholesome people. You just have a good vibe. That's why you can laugh because you don't have to worry about that you can't trust them.
Exactly.
Or whatever, right?
Yeah. So that's why it's good to keep your circle small.
Yes.
So do you think that people are carrying way more than they think?
Oh yeah. They do. A lot of people don't admit it, right? I think like I'm more outwardly, I will give my own information out very, very freely because I don't care what people think in a lot of ways. Of course I give some F's, but I think that a lot of people, they don't want people to know what's truly going on inside. That's why they say like, all these pictures can look nice on social media, but like they're like struggling inside. And even sometimes I'll put up happy pictures, even if I'm really sad. So I think people are struggling a lot and they just have a hard time talking about it. And like, I feel like I've always struggled with some kind of a depression, but everybody sees me as happy. And even if I'm sad or I'm mad, I never put it on other people. So like I could be bawling my eyes out and your client comes to the door and I'm like, hi, how are you? But inside I'm like dying, but I'm not going to be rude to the other person. Yeah. So I think a lot of people carry a lot of insecurities and that's why they act certain ways too. And it doesn't justify it. But you can tell when someone's acting a certain way, like it's because they're feeling like less than inside. And so a lot of times if someone does or says certain things to me, it doesn't bother me because I know it's an internal thing. But I feel sad that they feel that way. But like, I also feel sad that people would want to treat other people like that or like prey upon their weakness, Like I want to help them. I want to nourish them as opposed to like exploit them, you know?
I mean, but I feel like the world is also... It's so dark because a lot of these people were exploited.
I know.
For how they feel by so much like there's so many people that use people's pain for their own gain.
Horrible.
And I mean like I feel kind of hypocritical saying it only because of the podcast. Because it's technically kind of the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but we're choosing to give our information, because we want to do it to heal people. But yes, I understand what you're saying.
But is this because a lot of people, they like a lot of times somebody will be going through something and I'll be talking to my wife sometimes. She'll be like, oh, that person was rude, wasn't they? And I'm like, they were, but we don't know what that person had to deal with this morning. You know, it's like we don't know what a person had to do with this evening. You know, like some people, not everybody good at masking. You know, like most, a lot of people, they wear their heart on the sleeve, right?
Yeah.
And you could see it. So it is something to consider when you deal with people. So that being said, do you think people normalize being unwell? Like based off of the feel that you in and everything, do you think that we normalized?
Yeah, there's a lot of like tying in with the skin and all that stuff too. But there's like we use microwaves, so there's like electromagnetic field. We drink tap water. Everything's in plastic. Do you know what I mean? Like even like plastic containers that go into the microwave. So I think that, and I try to get organic, and it's hard to. So I think there's so much we're exposed to, and the world's just grown so big. And there's so much hype on like social media for different things. And so a lot of times people don't look into ingredients on things. And so, you know, you'll have a big hearty meal at, you know, Thanksgiving with turkey and potatoes and all that's fine. But if you're doing that all the time and having hearty stuff and you're not looking at what's going in your body, like your lymphatic system, your liver, kidneys can only handle so much. So a lot of times people say they have IBS because it's just a blanket term. But a lot of times like there's like gut bacteria that's going on that, you know, you got to get a stool test. Like if you have, like, there's a thing called perioral dermatitis, and it's like a dermatitis that sits here, and that's like from like a certain parasite. And then some clients from rosacea can have certain gut bacteria that correlates to the flare-ups and stuff like that. So there's lots of things that are going on. And like women's hormones, they're really starting to like go full force on that and like dive more deep into it. But there's a lot of like stuff we're unwell because the education or the resources weren't there, right? So I think the society is becoming more inflammatory. But then there's other people that are doing amazing things that are really trying to help with sustainability. And and I've seen people use orange peels for car interiors. You know,
orange peels.
Yeah, like they, you know, people are like doing sustainable, really neat sustainable things. So there's a lot of good stuff going on. But yeah, as a society, especially in North America, I think we're all very inflamed. And even I can see it on people's faces. Like I do lymphatic drainage massage, or I do like facial massage, and that comes with it. And like people come because they're puffy. A lot of times it's because they're eating dairy or inflammatory. Like right now I'm inflamed because I was in one of my flares and I was getting puffy eyes and all that stuff. So I have to like kick it back and like go into like turmeric. Like I eat raw turmeric and raw ginger. Like I have like turmeric on my hands. They're like yellow right now. Yeah. So
ginger. Because there's a couple things that you say that I wish I could, because I have my notes here. But a lot of the times I feel like on your phone, it just looks bad because it looks like I'm texting.
That's okay. No, I knew what you were doing.
Instagram. But I just feel, but so there's a couple things. So at night, my wife and I, we always drink tea with ginger in it, right? Yeah. So how do you think, like all the information that you know, how does it affect your life? Like, do you like try to stay away from it? Is it like mental in a way that not that you mental, but is it like when you go to the grocery store, you're like, okay, I can't buy this. It's hard. Or is it like second nature now?
It's such a struggle constantly, actually, because when I had the long COVID for 4 years, I had the histamines and I ate like a candida-free diet for 4 years, like the most strictest diet. And so I went so strict that after that I rebelled. Yeah. So I'm in a flare because I've rebelled so hard. You know, like I drank Starbucks. I ate chocolate bars. I did whatever, right? So I'm always in this thing where I will only buy organic from the grocery store and everything in my house, but yet I'll go out and get an ice cream at Dairy Queen, or I'll go out and buy food all the time. And it's like, it's almost like it's like easing my soul, because like when I had my PTSD, when I would have my drink, I've been having that same drink for 4 years because I remember it like it felt good to me. Yeah. And I think that like when I'm sad, the sugar, like even though I get organic chocolate bars, the sugar helps with my dopamine and stuff. So I'm constantly struggling with food because I know what I need to eat, but because I ate so strict for so long, I don't want to. So all I was doing is eating sugar for so long. And now I'm so inflamed, but I know all the education. I know all the things. So, but my brain can't bring me to not buy anything that's organic at the grocery store. But yet everything that someone prepares for me has a bunch of crap in it. So it's a battle. It's a battle for me. Like, I know exactly what to do. I could make you a meal without dairy and sugar and it would taste amazing. But it's so much prep work too. Like, to be healthy takes so much time and prep work.
Yeah.
Because I don't eat bread and, I can't just whip an easy sandwich together. And I hope that answered the question.
No, it did, because
it's a battle, man.
Yeah,
like,
it's definitely
sugar's a huge, massive problem. It's so addicting and it's so inflammatory. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I never had cellulite before on my legs. This last year I ate sugar, I got cellulite all on the front of my legs. And I'm trying to figure out how do I reset that? Do you know what I mean? And I did research on connective tissues and all this crazy stuff. And it's because, like, some of it's from hormones and stuff, but a lot of it's from inflammation. And yeah, I know. I'm being very raw and all.
No, you're good.
Right?
Because the good part for me is that I am allergic to dairy, so I can't eat dairy at all. But I do eat sugar. I know eat sugar, and which is so bad. I had to cut down my salt a lot. But yeah, I do eat sugar. I need to stop. I
eat it every day. I never liked sugar my whole life. I didn't care about sweets when I was a kid. When my mom made cookies, I was happy with that.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, after I had long COVID, my body craved sugar all the time.
Yeah. Why do you think people are so disconnected from themselves?
Oh, I don't know. Like, I think I spend a lot of time with myself.
Yeah.
Like, I almost kind of go reclusive. People think I'm like this vibrant, kind of outgoing person, but I spend a lot of time, like, sometimes I cancel plans when I shouldn't, and I don't be social. And then I never feel loneliness, but then I started recently feeling that way, but I was the one canceling the plans.
Yeah.
But it's almost like I needed to...
something deeper.
To be by myself.
Oh, by yourself, okay. So I think you're on the right path, because you're basically saying that most people don't spend time by themselves. Yeah,
they're so because, like, I have great friends, right? But yeah, a lot of people go and hang out with people and do things all the time, and so they don't get a chance to reflect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I was going with it, but it was such a deep thought that I lost it.
Yeah. So there's actually
does that make sense?
Yeah. It does make a lot of sense. So there's this book that I've been writing this book for like years, like 6 years.
Oh.
I always go back to it and come back and you've
been writing it or reading it?
Writing.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
So it's called Diary of a Loner. And it's basically me writing a diary of my life, but the basic conflict or the argument behind it was that I feel like everyone has to go through this lonely phase to become who they really want to be.
Yeah.
And sometimes that phase is people misinterpret this phase for depression, but it's just your body calling for time alone, and so that could be inflicted. Yeah, so that could be inflicted by a breakup or anything. But this time alone is where you really get to spend time by yourself. You date yourself. You watch a lot of movies by yourself. You chill by yourself. And the issue for me was that I felt like there was so much noise for everyone. You always have friends around. Now with Instagram. If you have
kids, you have dogs.
No, you have kids.
They gotta go to soccer.
Exactly. So you have all this noise that you don't really get to hear your own thoughts.
Yeah.
Because you at 18, a lot of kids will come to the barbershop. What you want to do? I'm gonna go to school for accounts. Why? I don't know. It's a lot of money. That's noise.
Mm-hmm.
You just do that because everybody else says something. A lot of kids, they start university and stuff because they finish high school and it's the dorm to start university.
That's the same thing will happen.
That's
with me.
noise. Exactly. Yeah. So this is my argument, is basically the opposite, is that you need to put yourself in a depressive state before depressive state forces you to come to it.
Wow.
And that being said, is like if you keep if you take these times alone where you cut out everything, you would go through depression. Like if you put on your phone if you home, you put on your phone and the TV and it's set, you would automatically go through this phase where you feel depressed. But it's your body calling for sugar. Same with sugar. Your body calling for that sugar.
It's so addictive.
You're right. And then you'll be like, oh, you start to hear your own thoughts. But everyone is like, oh, I have a boyfriend, I have a girlfriend, I have this, I have that. There's so much noise. You hear everyone else's thoughts, you don't hear your own. You know, and I think that's what the book is basically about. So your answer was basically
because I get the opportunity to.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a lot of people don't. Like, because I have my own house, my own business, and I'm just in my own house by myself. That's it. Like I have that opportunity, but you know, when you make those other responsibilities for yourself, you have kids and you have a wife and you have
but you still have time, right? Because I have
to make the time.
So I have kids, but I still have time.
This is time too.
Exactly, right?
This is therapeutic, isn't it? Because we're learning
definitely
things.
Yeah, you learn things, and a lot of the time sometimes it's just 15 minutes. Sometimes you could just go in the toilet for like 15 minutes.
And having a partner that's also like
understand
really big on your growth and
exactly.
That's
exactly like choosing the right person in your life is huge.
Yeah.
Is huge.
Letting
huge,
you
huge.
thrive, right?
Yeah.
Like watering your plant and not like, you know.
And it goes both ways, right? It goes both ways. It means that you have to do the same first. But I feel like as a man, I feel like if as a man you choose someone and you lead as a man should lead, then it would happen. And I feel like a lot of the times men misinterpret what leadership is because yes, we're supposed to lead the house, but the only way you could lead the house is to serve the house.
It's a partnership too at the same time.
It is a partnership a lot, but you serve first. So for me with my wife, I know that I am a server first. That's the only way you could lead. A leader is a servant.
Yeah.
Right? And so you have to serve. You have to serve your partner. And that's where you really see fruit.
Yeah, I always say I come from a family of helpers.
Yeah.
And when you just naturally want to do that, it doesn't make you a people pleaser. It just makes you like have harmony in your household, right?
Because your parents showed you
that for people, right?
Exactly, because your parents showed you that you serve, right?
That's how I was raised.
Exactly.
Too.
The best way to lead is to serve, because then people could see that they could trust you to be fair and to make the right decisions. Yeah,
and technically in our jobs, like I'm serving every
exactly.
day,
You're
right?
serving every day, and also for our jobs, it's different too because we get a lot of interaction. A lot. So that a lot of times we just want to be
high stimulation. That's what happens. Like when my clients leave, I shut my ringer off, and it's almost like some days if the UPS guy would even knock on the door, I'm like, who's knocking at the door? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I'm a happy person, but sometimes I'm like, you just any little stimulation, you're just
you're quiet, right?
Yeah, you just want to be like in your isolation.
Yeah, you just want to be in your own head, and
you're just restoring your battery, basically.
Exactly. So let me see what else I have. Yes, I have
about skincare or whatever.
Oh, I have a bunch.
Yeah,
I have a bunch. So how come you only do 4 clients a day?
Oh, so I used to do a lot more when I was doing lash extensions. So we'll start again. Yeah, so I used to do a lot more when I did lash extensions, but I was so burnt out. And so I was like, I can't handle this. Like, I need to have a break. Like I was working like 60-hour weeks. I was so burnt out. My cortisol was crazy. You know, I was going to bed later because I was trying to fit in all the other business stuff outside of when my clients were there. You know, and then like waking up not with much time before the next client because I was trying to like catch up on sleep. So, yeah.
Okay, so that's why. All right.
Yeah, I wanted to nurture people and have the right proper time with them, you know, not be rushing from the next person and someone else is sitting downstairs waiting. Yeah. And then I'm having to clean up, you know, I wanted to nurture them and make them feel like they're not rushed because I came here to relax. And if I have this like crazy ADHD energy coming in on them, they're like, whoa.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah.
So I had a great question. Okay, so what did you learn about? What did you learn about people since doing your job?
I always say to people that I have such good clients, and I don't know, whatever it is that I wanted to put out on my website, like women camaraderie and like Instagram, and I wanted to put things out of people that I would want to have as clients. So my clients are just such nice, good, like, people, and they just, I don't know, we've had laughter together, and we've had moments of, triumph where we figure something out. And what did you ask me again? There was just so many.
No, you good. What have you learned about people?
Oh yeah, about people. Yeah.
Through your work, yeah.
Yeah, and I find that people are really needing like one-on-one bonding too. That's a big thing. And I've just learned there's a lot of good people. Like when I go outside, I realize it's bad, but when I'm in my little bubble with my clients, because whatever I put out there, I've gotten in the really nice people. So I learned that like people just really are looking for that human connection. And sometimes I think I talk too much.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, that's why I come to you, because you always have the funniest stories. Now, my life is pretty boring. I do dishes and laundry, and I go to Shoppers Drug Mart and whatever, but I have a good way of telling stories. Or if one story happens, like that's exciting, I'll be like, girl, I got some tea for you. You know what I mean? So I feel like people, they want to live not vicariously, but they want to have, people want to have like something exciting to hear. And then sometimes people just want to go totally quiet. So yeah, there's just different, people want different things, but they do like that human, that interaction. Yeah. Even for just a little bit, if you talk for a bit and then go quiet, just a little bit is even nice, just to catch up, and then quietness too.
So do you feel like modern businesses just like rush too much? Like everything is like
pump people through. Yeah.
It's more about like just maximizing.
Well,
income,
the barbershop too, you have a few chairs, right? It's like, but you try to like really have relationships with people, right? You make that a point probably, right?
Yeah.
That's what makes the difference between good and not bad people, but like just makes a difference in customer service.
Yeah, how you feel, right?
Yeah.
But I feel, so like this one time I showed one of the younger kids in the shop, I did a haircut in 10 minutes, But for me, it wasn't sustainable because I was like, I don't want to be rushing through every haircut. I like to like have music on. I like to take my time.
Yeah, like vibe with it.
Yeah, I like to take my time. I like to talk sometimes. Sometimes I do like to talk.
And that's
sometimes,
okay too.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, what, today I'm not really in a talking mood today. Sometimes like if I'm deep in thought, I need to be left deep in thought. And I think it is probably the ADHD part. Side of me is like,
when I do facial massage, I'm like, I listen to the Tibetan monk music and I'm in the zone.
Because like there's times you could catch me and I'm like, talk.
Yeah.
Then there's times when I'm quiet and sometimes my wife would be like, are you okay? You sad? I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm good. I'm fine. I'm deep in. I'm
in a different plane.
Yeah, I'm just different, right?
You're up in here,
So
me and you were similar that way.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I hope it's not your issue. It's just I have like all these different thoughts that I'm having a full-on conversation in my head with 3 different phones. There's 3 of us. There's like 3 of us in a board meeting.
Right? Like, yeah.
There's 3 of us in a board meeting right now, and we're just discussing plans for the future. It's like, this is the quarterly meeting. We just need an hour and we're gonna be fine. Yeah, So it is like that a lot.
The whole 10-minute thing, like of the haircut, like the thing is, you could give someone a dope haircut, but if the person's not nice, or if you feel like the vibe's off or like whatever, like people won't come back, right? And sometimes I'm like, oh, maybe people didn't come back because I talk too much or whatever, but people say that's what they like. So I'm like, if those people think I talk too much, they're not my people. The people that don't, that's my people, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
What impact do you hope your life has on people?
Oh, that's a pretty powerful... just, wow. Yeah, it's a hard one to answer. I just want people to know that there's still kindness left in the world. And the one thing I said that's like, I could guarantee the people in my life that they wouldn't be sad in certain ways. Like say I dated someone, they would never be sad that I cheated on them, because that would never be a thing.
Yeah.
So I trust myself and with people. So I just want people to know that there is still good left in the world. And there are people that get up in the morning and they think about wholesome things and they got your back. I want people to know that like I'm solid for them and like I have their back, and that you can believe in those kinds of people still, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you can still be a feisty person and not put up with crap from people, but also just be always kind too. Do you know what I mean? Like my baseline's kindness. I never start fights ever, but if someone comes to me and gives me that energy, I will be the lion in that situation if I have to be. And there's something so powerful about that, being like a man who's honorable and a woman who's honorable, and we don't cheat. We don't cheapen ourselves by cheating, and we don't do those things, but yet we will rise above it if we have to. And I always joke about like Robin Hood and Maid Marian. I want people to see me as someone who's kind and courageous. So like, let's just say it's the battle with the poor and the rich in Robin Hood. And I always saw myself as like Maid Marian, but I never used to feel that way before. But now, since I have my own business, and since I went through everything, I want people to see that there's people that will fight for the good. If there's a battle with good and evil, I'm the white guy. I'm on the good guy side. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if he needs me to fight physically or whatever I have to do, I will never bring the fight to the yard with anybody ever. But I'll always do what's right. So I just want to know, like, there's people that are convicted like that still left. There's a lot more of us than you'd think, because we hear all the news. That's why I don't watch news and I don't watch horror movies and stuff. Yeah. I'm an empath, right? So I feel a lot. But yeah, you can still be such a sweet feeling person, but also be a beast when you have to.
Yeah. Do you think there are a lot of lonely people?
Yeah, I do. I really do. Because like when you go on the dating sites, I think there was times where I probably shouldn't even have been on there too. It was just really, really kind of broken, I think. And I think people do look for outside things to try to make them feel better. And it ends up making it worse. Mm-hmm. When you go on those dating sites, it's like a weeds, man. You go on there, you almost get anxiety. It's almost like, you know, when you check your phone all the time, like you're waiting for a message or social media. It's like it creates more of a problem with people because like they get these quick fixes, right? And then, you know, it's just like when we go get our coffee, we can get it right away. Like there's these quick fixes, but all it does is it just gives us a quick fix, but it doesn't actually like solve the problem. Like everybody on there should be like healed and working on themselves and being in their own space first before they go and do stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Definitely. So yeah, I think people are lonely, so they're looking for outside things. And I never been lonely. I never get lonely, but recently I am, but I'm not, because I'm making myself. Do you know what I mean? But then I was like, I need to like hang out with my dad, because my dad's my best friend, and I need to go out with my family. I need to hang out with my friends, not cancel on my friends. But when you have a partner leave, you know, it's been like a few months, you're like, okay, you thought your life was going to be this way, and now it's like totally derailed. So it's almost like I'm forcing myself to be alone, but at the same time, I've experienced loneliness for the first time, but I know that I need to do it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I do think people are lonely, and that's why they're always like, you know, going out with friends. But there's people that aren't lonely that just like to be social too. Yeah. Or they're supplementing it, cauterizing the wound with things that maybe isn't the best to serve them until they've healed. Yeah, that definitely. Makes sense. Yeah, it's like I always said that after like I would date someone or whatever, I'd be like, I don't want to lick my wounds with other people. Like I could easily go just have someone hook up with them or whatever, and like, you know, put my ego a notch above, but then like a day later, I'm going to feel shitty about myself because I made a decision that was against my moral compass. So yeah, it's like quick fixes. I think we're lonely and we're looking for quick fixes, and it makes us lonelier. Yeah. So with that being said, what does peace mean to you? I'm still trying to figure that out. Like I would say I'm struggling the most right now, but at the same time, I'm the most aware. Yeah. It's almost like you're on this roller coaster where you're having like triumphant moments, and then you have moments where you feel like you scraped your knee. But in those moments, you actually grow too. They feel really bad.
Yeah.
And I feel like when I've been down in the dumps the most, I feel like, how am I going to wake up? Sometimes you have thoughts that you shouldn't have. Sometimes everybody has. You're like, I just don't want to wake up tomorrow. But then when I look back, I'm like, everything now that's bad, it couldn't be as worse as what it was. So I think I've gotten a lot of peace from that. But as far as peace goes in general, I don't know. Some people can achieve it, but I don't know if I'll ever fully feel it. I don't know. That sounds negative, but I want to, but I think that I have so much on my plate all the time. So maybe if I was to take some things off of my plate, I'd feel more peaceful. Because I feel peace in my heart about a lot of things, but I feel stressed out about finances and other things, outside things, that I think that if I simplified some things, maybe I would feel more fully peace. So I have lots of peace in some ways, but then not in other ways. Does that make sense?
It does. Do you cry a lot?
No, I don't, but I used to. I feel like I'm numb.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm numb. But I'm still kind, you know what I mean? But I used to cry a lot. I'm just less emotional. I think I've just been through I wouldn't say the school of hard knocks, because like other people have been through a lot worse, but I've been kicked down a few times, and but I'm still compassionate. But if you were to tell me something, I could cry with something that you said, like from empathy. Empathy, yeah. So like I can cry from empathy, and I do cry when I hit my wall. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But like they say vagus nerves is, if you train the vagus nerve, it really helps with stress too. So like in the middle of my clients, I sing like AC/DC when I'm cleaning. Mm-hmm. I like sing try to sing the top notes. Do you know? So those things do bring me peace. And being with my father brings me peace. My friends bring me peace. Yeah. The fact that I get to sit on my couch. So I think I shouldn't say that I'll never be fully peaceful. And there's a lot of peace. Yeah. So that's, I don't want to be negative, but
so do you love who you are? Who you've become?
As a person, I do. Yeah.
Okay. So that's one.
Yeah.
So you love who you become. Do you like being? You like being by yourself?
I think because I've been around people for so long.
You like being by yourself? That
I'm getting to that, but I also like being with my clients. And so I like it when it's the 4 clients. Right. Because all my clients are so nice. Yeah. So I like being with my clients in the capacity that I have it now. But I can't do any more than that. So I do like being by myself a lot, but I like having the social thing, but then getting to
So I think you are at peace. I think you don't realize.
Really?
It, because I feel like peace, the way they show us peace on movies and everything is more like you're at this place where everything seems like a dream, maybe, you know? Okay. But I feel like that, I don't think that's what peace is. I think peace is where you're at, but there will always be things that you need to deal with or you need to overcome. But that doesn't mean that you're not at peace. I think people who are at peace are people who, there's a lot of people who, I mean, I don't mean to sound but a lot of people who, those people who go every weekend, they need to be at a party. Every weekend they need to be. That used to be me. That is not peace. That used to be me too. Yeah. So like I said, so that is surface peace, because they feel at peace because they're getting the fixes. Yeah. Right? So they could say, oh yeah, I'm happy, but I'm doing all these other things that shows that they're not happy. Whereas you're at a place where you're like, oh, I need all these things. I understand all these things I have to deal with, and I'm dealing with them. But that's what peace is.
Well, you know, when you have to sit, like I could cauterize the wound by like doing drugs or drinking or, you know, having multiple partners, but I want to sit in my own stink. Like
exactly. So that's peace.
I guess it is, but it's painful.
Definitely, it's painful.
It's painful.
Yeah, it's painful. Yeah, sometimes I pray. Sometimes when I'm praying, I'm like, yo, why this can't be easier? No. Like why when you choose to go the route of this, why is it harder? Why do you look at people who
so hard?
Yeah, why do you look at people on Instagram and see them having way more fun and they doing and I'm like, we don't sleep in these people's thoughts.
No.
Right? You could be in your own thoughts and understand that, you know what? I have so much people. I have a dad that I describe as my best friend.
You too?
No, for you.
Oh yeah, it's my dad. Yeah,
for me, it's my mom. My mom is like that, right?
Yeah.
Outside of my family. So it's like, you have all these people that care for you. You're in a place where you're like, you have to figure things out. But if everything was to go, you would still be happy. There's still a sense of, still a sense of, if the government was to come tomorrow and say, you have no more business, yeah, but don't worry, you don't have to worry about money. You'll be fine. You'll be like, okay, cool. I'm chilling.
That's my only stress.
Exactly, you know? So one time I was praying.
Yeah.
And this is what God had to reveal to me. He's like, bro, your stress is finances, bro. That is the most of this world's stress.
Okay.
Like, there's people who go and choose way more stress.
Because we work hard, but we have so much expenses. Exactly, we have so many moving parts all the time, right?
But that's if your only stress is finance, and okay, maybe like a little bit of heartbreak and stuff, but it's mostly finance. There's no stress.
I said that to my dad. I said 80% of it's that.
Yeah, there's no stress. It's like one day you're gonna be dead and gone, and somebody else will have this finances on them. But at the end of the day, right now, if that's your only stress, then you are at peace, and then you should. Because I feel
tormented at times. Exactly, but it's financial. Because being in your own business, you're doing everything.
Definitely, because you want to be great at it.
Yeah.
But sometimes you have to step back and you have to be like, look at all these things that I have built. Who am I? Sometimes it's even good to leave a little notepad on your door and ask your clients, yo, just write anonymous. Who am I? Like, what you think about me?
I think I forget to be grateful for myself.
So you should do it. Ask your clients anonymously, just write what you guys think about me.
Oh, wow.
And put them in a fishbowl and read them. You could even do content. That'll be good at content, actually.
Yeah, like read them and...
Yeah, whenever you're feeling a bad day, go and read. Well, I think I'll do the same thing at my barbershop. Maybe.
I think because we're so self-regulated. Oh, you do that?
No, I think I should.
I think because we're so self-assessing that we're in our own heads and we don't realize what actually people think about us.
Exactly. And you see yourself as the girl that has all these things that happen that shouldn't happen, but you never really see the things that did happen.
Yeah, I think when you're a person that helps other people, you're a servant. You kind of like look at how you help other people. Yeah. But you don't think. What's funny? You said about the peace thing. So there's a story, and I'll try to keep it short. But I moved to Australia when I was 29, and I sold everything I owned. I sold my couches, I sold my everything, and I had just a big bag, right? And my brother was there with his girlfriend because she was Australian, and I chopped my hair off, and I didn't go to the club because I was always going to the bar in London, right? Like it was a bar town. And we were always going to UFC fights. We were going to different nights where you had to have a different dress on and everything. And I just wanted to go there and be in my own space. And I had already finished college, but they wouldn't sponsor me because I just took administration. So I had to do waitressing. So I would do the morning and the night shift, and I'd sleep in between. And I literally had no time to even enjoy Australia, really. And it was the first time I paid rent because my dad had rental properties and I didn't have a car. So it was like pretty oppressed, and I didn't have healthcare. So I put myself in that situation where I chopped my hair off so I wouldn't have like that temptation of like dating and stuff. And not that guys didn't find like shorter hair attractive, but I just felt like, if I chopped that off, like I would...
Yeah, you wouldn't stand out as much.
It wouldn't stand out as much. You know what I'm saying? So like I did all of that. And I always say that I feel like I dropped my self-esteem issues in the ocean, because I would look at myself in the mirror like 30, 40 times a day. And I came back and I didn't feel that way anymore. And then I bought a house after that. I bought a rental property with 5 tenants, Fanshawe students. And then I feel like my life started then, But then after the PTSD, I felt like it dipped again. But then now I feel probably the strongest. And I guess I feel at peace with the fact that I don't let people step on me.
Yeah.
And that I'm very convicted in being honest and cultivating the energy I want around me. So Do you know when you have thoughts that come in and you know they're not your own?
Definitely, 100%.
And you know what I say? I'm like, to the devil, I'm like, bro, you ain't taking my soul.
Yeah.
Just move on. It's not going to happen.
It's not good. So one time...
I say that out loud in my house.
Yeah, so this is... It's similar. So one time I'm driving home. I just dropped my kid off. And I'm having all these thoughts of depression. My family doesn't even know. I'm in such a depressive state. I'm like, there's so much things happening. I'm driving. And I just start to scream. And I start to pray. And I'm like, bro, I'm praying. I'm praying, but I'm talking to the devil. I'm like, bro, all these things that you think happening is not happening. And I'm like legit talking to him as like when I was back in the day fighting on the streets.
Yeah.
I'm talking and I'm shouting, you know, and that's when I realized, oh, you could pray different, you know, and you're right. So a lot of the times when you're at peace, there's lies that come and be like, oh yeah, no, you're not at peace. Look at you. Nobody wants you. Nobody, you know, oh, you're in debt. Nobody. And then you start to believe it. You start to say, yo, yeah.
Yeah.
But then when you really think about it, you're like, wait, or for $10, I'm stressing for $10. Do you think healing starts emotionally before physically?
Yeah. Yeah, because with what's going on with me right now, if I have to get a hold of what's causing me to have all these problems in my life, like in my body, like my inflammation and stuff like that. So in order for me to get better overall, I have to like have a mentality that's more structurized.
Yeah.
Because I think I think I do have ADHD, my brain's all over the place and I have a hard time with certain structure. Like when I have my business, I'm so structured, but outside of that, I'm bouncing off of a wall.
Yeah.
So I think that if I have more routine and more structure in my own life, that I will heal. I think I'll heal better, I guess.
Okay. And probably my last question before we really close off is, what do you think people need more of right now?
In general, right?
Mm-hmm.
Compassion for other people. Like, I think we've like become desensitized, you know, like the tabloids and gossip and just social media and like people ghost people and they love bomb and all these things. And like, I think that we're just so really desensitized to people's feelings, you know, like I always thought that if you could go to a school and go through the government, get legislation put in or something put in where you can make a play and you go to all the schools, right? And you'd show a scene. So you'd be in the crowd and you'd see a scene and there'd be a play and it would show kids bullying other kids, right? Then the scene would end and you'd open another scene with a kid on his bed by himself with the light shining down. And you see the kid's cutting himself or he's sad or he's like feeling suicidal or whatever. And I think that it would help kids understand what bullying does to somebody. So I think that we need to like humanize people more. Like if I ever have to let someone down, I don't just ghost them in any scenario. I always like fully explain it. And I'm like, let me walk you through why I felt this way. Like say I went on a date with someone and I just wasn't into it and they were, I fully break it down. Or if I have an interaction with someone, I'm like, okay, this is what happened. I want you to know. So I don't leave them with any gaps. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I just think people need to be like more transparent with people and, you know, need to understand like how their actions affect people and just like be more sensitive and like they're a little bit more like not egotistical, but they're more focused on their own problems. You know, when you become not as focused on your own problems, you can really be there for people. Like when I left Australia, I was always worried about what I looked like and this and that. But when I came back, I understood what empathy was because I didn't have my own issues anymore. Yeah. So then I could really like listen to people. Yeah. And that's why I think that when my clients are there, I'm actually trying to give them positive energy, but they don't know that. I'm actually trying to heal their body, inflammation in their body, but they don't know that. I don't tell them that, but that's my goal in my heart when I wake up in the morning, if that makes sense.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So what's something that's normalized that shouldn't be?
Gossip gossip is this is like the biggest one. I'll give my own information out, but I'm not going to give someone else's out. If you give me some information, that's not for me to give out. It's so normalized. The ghosting thing, all the new terms like breadcrumbing and like just a lot of things is so normalized. In movies, even The Notebook, it's going to be a little controversial, but it's a love story and everybody loved that. But she cheated on the guy she was with.
That's why I never watched it.
Cheating in movies, man.
That's why I never watched it. That's why, I watched it. I
didn't realize it till recently.
Yeah, that's why I never liked the Notebook. As I always think about these things in movies. Is like they show like that side, but they don't show you the other guy's side.
Right.
It's like, this guy left this guy at the altar, but the other guy is what's happening to him, right? Yeah,
they normalize cheating and they also normalize violence in all the new movies, like from the 80s. Like I remember my favorite movies, The Labyrinth with David Bowie and, The Goonies and all that. But like all those movies, like they're just, the whole movie is just violence, right? And so, and also pornography.
Yes.
That's a big one too. The younger generation has a bad view on how
people should look,
how things are. And how they should interact in You can't always blame them because this is what they're exposed to. It's educating them all. I think there's so many things we're desensitized to.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's just something like I've never wanted to expose myself to. Like I'm not ignorant, but there's some things that I just don't need to know.
Yeah.
I don't want to know about certain things. And I'll be fine leaving those alone. You know what I mean? But there's too many things that we've normalized. Not everybody finds it normal though.
I mean, and you see, just what you said just now, that there's a lot of stuff that you just leave alone. Just that statement alone is biblical.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. It is. So you don't even realize how closer you are than you think that you're actually very close. But
and even AI too, right?
Yeah, AI, everything like that.
There's data farming. Everybody uses AI, but they don't realize it takes our resources. There's just so much.
Yeah.
People using skincare. Yes, it may help you with something, but then there's like chemicals in it. Do you know what I mean?
Or the back end of it, Yeah, but that's good. And I know that there's so much more things that we could dive into right now that we could go for like 3-4 hours. Because there's so much. And I think this is one of my favorite parts of the podcast. It happened to most of the people who I had, but not everyone. Some people on the podcast that was on the podcast, I felt shouldn't have been on the podcast. I feel like they was on it for their own reasons.
Oh yeah.
But most people, I could tell, especially my most recent episodes, which is like last year plus from 20. My first couple I was just getting anybody, but
You're
now I
think those people into your energy.
Exactly, But now it's more like I get to meet people who on a different path and who see the world different and who actually want to give back to society. And I want to say thanks for coming on. Hopefully there will be a day when you guys can come on. I could give you guys a big gift, like a big hamper. Like, thank you.
Even if we all just got together, that would be good too.
Yeah, exactly, right? And I think like we could
have a little barbecue.
Exactly.
That would be cool. Yeah, all like-minded people coming together. That's powerful, man.
Every year I think I say, I'm gonna have a barbecue, but every year I end up getting a next baby. I swear.
Okay, so are you done now? Are you good?
I'm done now. I'm done now. But now my wife was like, you know what? I want a new one. I'm like, these ones are good. They just need to put some more batteries on
first, man.
Yeah. So that has, but I am very grateful for how everything happened and how God revealed everything to me, because I never thought I would ever host a podcast. It was never my goal.
Yeah.
But he always seemed to put people in my path that would challenge me for who I am and make me become a better person. And that's what this conversation has done for me yet again. So thank you.
You're welcome.
For that. I know
that's why I chose you, because I saw how you did the other interviews.
the other interviews. Thank you.
I was like, this guy's he's got the same moral compass as me, so I felt safe.
Yeah, I try.
You brought that energy, so
I try, and yeah. Anyway, I know we've been talking a lot, so now it's time for you to do your shameless plug. So yeah.
So what do I just say? I'm Jessica from Crave Aesthetics.
Yeah. So this is your camera here. You could just Jessica from Crave Aesthetics, like promote yourself, promote your business, promote exactly what you do.
Oh, okay. Okay, so my name is Jessica. Oh, yeah.
And say like your Instagram and where they could find you. Yeah.
Okay, so my name is Jessica Little. I'm a born and raised Londoner, and I own Crave Aesthetics, and it's Crave Aesthetics London on Instagram. And I do lash lifts, brows, facial massage, holistic facials, dermaplaning, microneedling. I do the whole thing. So if you're looking for a glow up, I got you, girl.
Okay.
Does that work?
Yeah, that works. And yeah, so thanks a lot for coming on today, and hopefully we can do a next episode.
Yeah, that was really